Alright, it's time for another video. The school break, winter break is over. Kids are finally back off at school, so I can get some free time to myself. And I've caught up on all these other projects I have going on. I do have a escape deck to paint still. But apologize for the voice. Texas weather, it's awesome. Tend to have 80 degrees one day, then the very next day it's down to 20. Yeah, it's great for the sinuses and stuff. But so what I'm going to show today is back to the tau conversions. This again is probably one of my first conversions I did. I might have even done it before I did the razor shark, but it's the my take on the tx-42, the forgeworld piranha conversion, or I guess variant. So I'll just show you what it looks like first. So here is this. Stupid flight stand's constantly breaking, so you have to make do. Just kind of take you down in there. So what we did is standard piranha body, but the wings obviously moved back. Kept them how they're supposed to be naturally, but just slid them back. These are normally on the bottom. I'll just put them on the front. Have the drones that you would use for your hammerhead. Use those instead. And then that, hammerhead. And then this is all actually a devilfish hammerhead turret top. Not turret top, sorry. A hammerhead cockpit. I trimmed it out, cut it out. Like where that little notch is. Cut that out all the way back to here. And then I did little green stuff to kind of smooth it out. I'm still not as good as green stuff as I'd like to be, because obviously you can see some lines there and there, but and the paint job on this is crap. But back here I added a broadside shoulder pad that I trimmed down and did the same thing. I filled in some green stuff to kind of smooth it out. Nothing too different back here under here. This, I wanted a little sensor on the front, so I used a crisis suit head, one of the old style. And then for the weapons choices, I magnetized the heck out of it. I magnetized it and gave it so many options. It's ridiculous. Like, I don't even think how many of these options are legal in game. But anyway, here's the weapons systems. So you have your typical drone that you would have your burst cannons on. I think you'd even have your rocket pods on this too if this was a hammerhead. I just put a little shield on the back to kind of give it some flair. But what these are, this is a crisis suit jetpack. I cut it off, trimmed it out, planted a magnet in there, and then what you have is, here's the main ones I did. Now here's your rail guns. I have little bits of metal, and then they fit like that. And what I'm probably going to do is have to go back, and I've been noticing that they're too heavy in the front. But that's pretty much how it looked. And they're not level at all. Well, especially when this one keeps falling. But yeah, I'm probably going to strip the metal off there and actually put a magnet there. so it holds it up. But anyway, there's that. Like I said, they don't stay on very well. I did burst cannons. They stay on a little better. There it is with the burst cannons. I did plasma. There we have it with the plasma. And then fusion. I don't know the rules on what its standard comes with. I know the rail guns, and I even missile pods were the other thing I think. But yeah, there's the fusion cannons. But then I think somewhere I saw that it did come with an option you could do missile pods instead of which I think the missile pods look kind of cool. If I ever do another one of these, I'll plan it out a little bit better and make sure my angles and everything are straighter. And I think a lot of it's not necessarily the angles of how these are put on. I think it's more this piece, how it fits, and you do kind of have to sometimes get it right on there. And my magnet's probably sunk, not flush. So, but anyway, this was a fun little conversion. I like it. I like the way it looks. I do wish there were some things I did differently on it. Obviously, my green stuff worked. I wish it was a little better. The paint job, again, I said I don't like it at all. The paint's too thick. The reds aren't smooth. And then the white, of course, isn't smooth. I've been doing something different with the white. I've been putting a gray down and going up from that. And it seemed to work a little bit better. I normally don't have problems with the white. I did my Riptide is pretty bright white on it, but this, like I said, this was when I first started again. And you just kind of pick up things. You see things on the internet. You got cats in all these groups that help you out and show you pointers and stuff, which is really awesome. So, but yeah, I really like this conversion. It's a cool looking ship. And I think I'll probably never use it in game. I don't know, again, like I said, the tx-42, like how valid it is in game, but we'll see. The other thing I did, I put together that Warsenal facade. So didn't finish it. I still have to put one piece in here. But I just wanted to get it together and see what it looks like. It went together fairly easy. I used the Zappa Cap, the CA glue. Excuse me. Yeah, the Zappa Cap CA glue. And went together really easy. I made sure my angles and everything were all good, but I noticed like this door was supposed to slide straight in. It didn't. So I had to do some sanding on the edges to kind of get it to go in there, because it was really tight. Like, it's still kind of tight in the initial get-go, but then it slides back down. Now what this is for me, is I'm going to use this in a diorama, or well, it's more like a display board. I'm going to have the base of the board. Let me zoom out so I can kind of show you. So imagine like if this pad was the base of the board, I'm going to build up a mountainside and have a cutaway so you can see inside of it. It'll have a little docking bay, like a little landing platform, and things like hammerheads and stuff like that would come and go into it. And then it'll be kind of raised up off the ground, because in my world, and my tower on, 7 months out of the year, it's covered with water. So I would do a water effect on the bottom, the base of it too, and mainly have them displayed on there. The side of the mountain will have little ledges and balconies kind of sticking out from it. But in the cutaway, I was going to have this inside of it, you know, as just part of the wall. That's why I picked this up. Ultimately, if I was clever, I would get some servos and see if there was a way to make this slide up and slide down, you know, and just do like just paint a fake hallway going off in the distance behind it. But I think that would look pretty cool, you know, just even a little switch, it just goes up and just rotates back down. I want to do lighting effects on it and all kinds of stuff. It's going to be a pretty major project, and I keep talking about it, and maybe one of these days I'll get around to doing it. But that's the way things go. So that's it for this video today. What I've got coming up, my daughter wants to show off and unbox her Hive Tyrant, and that's her next step in her her Tyranid army. We are trying to. I would so love to. Games Workshop has these new deals, the starter sets, the starter armies. Come start an army, and obviously I'd love to get the Tau one because I want that ethereal. And for $85, you get 3 crisis suits, 1 or 2 squads of breachers and strikers, and then the ethereal on hover drone, which is pretty rad for $85. What the crisis suits alone are almost 70, right? They're something like that. So I mean, you're getting a great deal out of these. And for her, for $85, I'd like to get her the Tyranid one because it comes with the Hive Tyrant. She already has one, but then she could do that one as a Swarm Lord. And then it has gargoyles and warriors, I believe. I don't know if that's what they're still called. But for $85, I mean, the Tyrant alone is $80 or close to it. That's a great deal. I mean, good on you, Games Workshop. I mean, that's how you get people interested in your company, in your business. Show them some kind of love by giving them deals, and I think that's too many people hate on Games Workshop for that stuff. They're a business like anybody else, you know. And in a business, you're trying to make money, but you also have to pay people who do things. You have to pay the sculptors, the concept artists, the sculptors. You have to pay the companies that make your. Well, here, hold on. I'm gonna